face, but must be hurting inside.
Yeah, I'm trying to cover it up, but I'm sad on the inside, but at the same time joyful because I get a chance to reflect on the great memories I had the last 4 years, chilling with all my brothers, and it's a great time out there today. It was one of the best games I ever played in. Fortunately, we was on the wrong end of the losing state, but it was just remarkable to finish my senior season, and I'm forever thankful for the opportunity to be here.
Coach just talked about, from this game, when you guys look back on it, you'll remember the good things that happened, a couple years down the road, but it looks like you're already trying to take that attitude now. And here, you guys lost, there's nothing you can do, but at least it was a heck of a game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course we lost, like you said, but it was so many positive things that happened out there, so many big plays and things to continuously, repeat over and over in your mind, 20, 30 years from now. And that's something I'm looking forward to. Of course, I'm not going to try to reflect on the loss itself, but I just try to think back over the good times. I had a similar experience. My last game in high school came down to the last play of the game. I had to throw a Hail Mary. I ended up getting sacked then, so that's what I try to avoid today. But very similar. But through both of these games, I'll be able to reflect on the positives, on the big plays being made. Just remember the good times here with my teammates.
What are you thinking when the big guy catches the ball? I don't know where you were, but did you see it? I mean, did you think? Just tell me what were your thoughts.
I saw the ball going in this direction, but I kind of thought he dropped it because it was a collision right out there. But I saw the Fresno players, throwing their hands up in the goal away, and I was just lost. I tried to think of the rules in my head to be able to go against him, say illegal touching or something like that. But the deflection allowed him to catch the ball, and fortunately for them, he fell in the end zone.
You took what seemed to be a long time walking off at the end. Was that a hard walk to make for the last time to leave the field?
That was tough. Not only so much that we lost, but it was the last time I walked off as an Illini football player, and I was trying to take as much in as possible to to store my memory bank. And like I said, it was just so many things going through my head all the times that I have walked off the field, and it's just a lot just rushing at the time. So I kind of took my time to try to enjoy it.
Was that the same thing in the pregame tunnel? You were visibly emotional there. What were you kind of thinking about there as you were coming out?
It's all the memories. This it was the last time for everything. Last time you get to lead the team out of the tunnel, and it was very emotional coming out for the introduction to the seniors. And it's just a lot. It's a lot to take in. And because I had so many great times here, and it's hard to put it behind me. And I'm excited about what's there for me in the future, but it's kind of hard to let it pass.
Were you prepared for having an overtime, perhaps?
Yeah, I was prepared. I was trying to get out of there, though. It was kind of cold on that sideline, but I wanted to, of course, come out on top. But if overtime was need be, we'd have been ready. But it's kind of unfortunate.
4 years ago, if someone had told you you'd have 10,000 yards, what would you say?
I wouldn't believe them. I wouldn't believe 10,000 yards. That's a lot of yards. Actually, somebody told me about a week ago that's like 5 miles or something like that of yardage. So that's pretty remarkable. But all those yards and the different accolades and the notoriety I received the last 2 years, it's got to be a contribution of my teammates and the coaches. They was able to put me in a position to go out there and be successful. Believed in me, depended on me when times were rough, and they put me in this position.
You're used to the cold, but what about the wind? Was that a factor at all?
I take the cold all day, but the wind, a windy, hot day is terrible for me. The ball get to playing games while it's in flight, but it comes along with football. You got to be able to go out there and withstand it, continuously execute, and I think we did a pretty good job with that today.
Can you talk about, from a personal standpoint, self-confidence, things like that, how you've changed over the last 4 years?
It's just been a constant game. Coming in as a freshman, I was 18 years old. Not a lot of coaching, some, but not where I needed to be in order to be in the Big Ten. So I came in very raw, but as the seasons progressed, I've gained knowledge, I've gained playing experience. And those things were probably the most contributing factors to my success out there. So I was able to come out these last 2 years and really dominate and really put up points and really really produce. So, but that comes along with my being able to be coachable, the coaches being patient with me, and those guys really breaking things down in a way I can understand and interpret it out there. So, like I said, all that goes along to my coaches and my teammates.
You came in the season with high expectations, both personally and for the team. Have you thought about why went the other way? I mean, does it come up in your head why it's 3-9 instead of 9-3 or whatever?
It's kind of tough, but it's fairly simple. You know, a lot of games that we lost, you know, it was always 1 or 2 plays that determined the rest of the game. Like even though Ohio State we lost 30-0, but it was 1 or 2 plays there that really swung the momentum. So it was just, I think it was just a lack of focus at certain times and critical times, and that really turned the tide each game that we lost. So it's not really a big thing to try to fix. It's fairly simple, but it's all about the players to determine discipline enough to be able to go out there and stay focused for all 60 minutes.
You got dinged one
20
time.
years from now, we talk about Rose Bowl, talk about Ohio State, talk about something that's 10 miles away from the field. What would you talk about with your?
Well, hopefully when we get back together, we have about a day's worth of time to talk about everything. But the win at Ohio State, the Rose Bowl, just being around the community, just sharing good times. I'm sure all of these things will be talked about when we reunite about 20, 30 years from now. But I'm sure there'll be some negative things here and there, a few jokes, a few embarrassing moments. But it should be a good time. Looking forward to keeping in contact with all my friends.
Juice coach talked about the program heading in the right direction. It's the first big recruit that he brought into the program here. How do you feel over the last 4 years that you've been a part of that, pushing that into the right direction?
Like you said, I was rated pretty high coming out of high school, and I felt as if I'm gonna be here, I can't win this game. I can't win all these games by myself. So I made it my duty to get on the phone, recruit with these other guys, and as those guys came in, we hosted the younger guys, the guys that was coming behind us, and we continued the same trend year after year. And I think that's the best way to get the talent that you need in order to be successful. Not be selfish. Once you're here, not give back to the team. I think it's everyone's here the obligation and duty to be able to do that same thing.
One more question, and Juice can be available out here with the rest of the players. Anything else in here?
You got dinged up once, Juice. What happened when?
I kind of just twisted my ankle the wrong way. I do it. I've been doing it ever since I got hurt. I've been doing it all Cincinnati, but usually I twist. I feel a sharp pain, and it go away in a matter of seconds. This time it took like 2-3 minutes. So I just came out, shut out, 2-3 plays, and I was fine when I went back in.
Okay, thank you.